Calibrated, prudent, and targeted is how property analysts at RHB Singapore describe the latest cooling measures introduced in the city-state. Coming at a time of rising interest rates and risks of economic slowdown, tighter home loan limits help ensure home buyers won't be over-leveraged.
With more and more flats, HDB flats recording more than $1 million in the market, we believe that the objective of the government here is to keep the HDB housing affordable, especially for considering that 78% of the population in Singapore lives in HDB housing flats. This measure is more, I would say, timely at this point of time.
The ratio to assess a borrower's ability to repay home loans has been raised from 3.5% to 4% per annum. These are thresholds that limit how much borrowers can spend on monthly debt obligations. An interest rate floor of 3% was also introduced to compute for loans granted by the Housing and Development Board, or HDB. Homebuyers will have to fork out 20% in cash down payment, as HDB loans can now only be up to 80% of the property value. To temper demand, private residential property owners must wait 15 months before they can purchase HDB resale flats. Seniors aged 55 and above are exempt from this rule.
The 50 basis point increase in the TDSR would affect the home loan affordability of the buyers by about 5 to 6%. If you take a buyer before is using 1.5 million loan to buy a $2 million worth of properties, post this measure he would be able to take only about $1.4 million of loans and buy a property worth about $1.8 or $1.9 million. Although the impact is marginal, the measures is more of a prudence in nature.
Overall, prices of HDB resale flats and private residential properties rose nearly 8% in the first 9 months of 2022. And in September 2022, the number of HDB flats sold for 1 million Sing dollars or more hit a record high of 45. Such flats made up about 1.7% of total resale volumes in that month.
The 5-room flats, executive flats, and these are the ones that are driving up prices. In Toa Payoh, it was one of the towns with the highest price growth in the third quarter. So mainly because I think there were more than $15 million flat transactions.
Amid the cooling measures, real estate agency Orange Tea and Thai has lowered its price projection for HDB resale flats to between 6 and 8% from 7 and 9% this year. But it still thinks private property prices will go up by 7 to 9%.
For the HDB resale market, we expect more knee-jerk reaction this time round. So, for example, in terms of sales volume, it may come down slightly over the next few months, as well as prices as well. For the private residential market, we do not expect a very big impact, especially for the luxury market.
While the new rules could likely clip sales of 5-room HDB resale flats, Orange Tea says it could also push up demand for smaller units, particularly in non-mature estates.
This perhaps may even be a buying opportunity because prices are going to, most likely it will slow down. So, and there's actually less competition from private homeowners. So it may be a good time for you to enter the market, especially if you're a young couple. But of course, if you can wait for the completion period, alternatively, is that you can go for a BTO.
Over 9,000 built-to-order HDB flats are set for launch in the coming months, with 23,000 more next year. Still, there will be those who will feel the pinch of the new cooling measures.
Age 55 and above, they could still buy a HDB flat. For those who are younger, that is where the challenges come in, because they will now have to decide whether or not they want to stay put in their private property or to continue with their plans to downgrade to a HDB flat. But they, in the meantime, in that 15 months, they will have to probably rent a home temporarily. And in the current market, when rentals are rising by double-digit percentage each year, it is quite an expensive exercise.
Experts say the best strategy for property investors right now is to wait.
It is basically a waiting game to see who actually blink first. I think many sellers would be quite reluctant to lower prices at this point in time. But you must bear in mind that for most buyers, it's very likely that their housing budget could be reduced anywhere between 5 to 10%, depending on their financial situations.
Fixed home loan rates in Singapore are now at a high, at up to 3.85% per annum. RHB Singapore expects mortgage rates to hit 4.25 to 4.5% by 2023. The bank currently has a neutral rating on Singapore's property sector.
We like city developments as a topic for the sectors, mainly on the valuation grounds and also for the hospitality sector recovery, which city developments is exposed to. However, real estate agencies might see a slightly bigger impact from the cooling measures. Real estate and developers and REITs has corrected more significantly compared to the physical markets, which is still continues to keep going up. So I would say the real estate developers and REITs has priced in most of the negatives, while the physical market hasn't.